Coming up on this episode of Earth, a company that is solving our Earth's global plastic waste problem at the molecular level. We'll introduce you to one of Earth's valuable minerals that has started a lightweight cat litter revolution. We'll show you how HVAC research and development is keeping the air clean inside our vehicles, no matter what the environment is like outside. And we'll introduce you to the latest technology that is helping solve our food waste problem through innovative packaging. It's all coming up on Earth. I'm John Holden. Welcome to Earth. Hi, I'm John Holden, and welcome to Earth. We're starting off our show here in Kingsport, Tennessee, a city known for research and development that impacts many of the products that we use every day. You know, we live in a circular economy with a growing population that has problems that can and must be solved, but today the problems are so complex, they have to be solved at the molecular level. Let's take a look. With a global population that is surpassing 7.5 billion, on its way to 10 billion in the decades ahead, we all want products that are good for this planet and enhance the quality of our lives. Unfortunately, many of those plastic products are now polluting our waterways and landfills. The challenges facing mankind are rising, and they must be solved in a sustainable way.
The fact is basically there's 80 million more people each year being brought onto the Earth. And we've got problems both with hydration and with feeding the population. One is the solutions have to first be at scale, which we are as a $10 billion company. And then secondly, the problems are so complex, they have to really be solved at a molecular level.
Eastman is a global specialty materials company in Kingsport, Tennessee, that produces a broad range of products found in the items people use every day, with nearly a century of history in providing material solutions for communities around the globe.
For Eastman, I think we've been at the heart of innovation, and it's been our purpose since we started. So next year will be our 100th anniversary as Eastman. We had a long history of being part of Kodak, and then eventually being spun off as a separate company in '94. So our primary goal, and it's existed for a very long time, and our moral stated purpose is to enhance the quality of life in a material way. So as we think about it, we're in the materials business. Our job is to improve the quality of materials. If you look at it, decades ago, was providing higher quality products for people to improve their quality of life. Today, the fundamental opportunity is how do we make these products more environmentally sensitive?
Eastman today has grown to a company of nearly 15,000 employees, serving customers in over 100 countries, with a pipeline of innovations to enhance life in a sustainable way, from enabling lightweight cars to enhanced water treatment. Theirs is a mission dedicated to sustainability, while addressing the changing needs of the world and its growing population.
I think we are at a tipping point with sustainability. I think in years past it's been a nice to have, but at this point it has become a requirement. So consumers are requiring it, brands are requiring it, and our customers are demanding it. So as you look at the commitments that big brands have made and the stakes they put in the ground about their future commitments, sustainability is at the heart of those, and we have to deliver the right solutions.
One of the things I'm really excited about is how we've sort of repurposed innovation. Instead of figuring out how to make new things, we're actually going to figure out how to give new life to old things, or things that don't have no longer have a current value. So we're going to talk about waste plastics.
It's sustainable research that takes place here in one of hundreds of Eastman labs on site. End-of-life research on things such as plastic cups and plastic straws to make them compostable or recyclable to last a very long time.
I'm excited that we're really trying to help the Earth and make this world a better place for all of us to live in. So You know, we're helping the environment, we're helping humans, we're helping animals by trying to get plastic out of the waste stream, trying to get it out of the landfills, and making durable products that people use really for as long as they want to.
This research is not only to innovate new products and applications, but also to pursue innovative recycling solutions to address the circular economy and the growing challenge of waste plastic in our environment. Eastman recently announced 2 new technologies that will significantly impact the global issue of plastic waste.
We're in the process of commercializing by the end of 2019 2 new technologies, one that's focused on polyester plastics, so PET, think water bottles, and the second that is more robust than even the first, where we're saying that we will basically take back any waste plastics and pull them out of the environment and rebuild them back up into useful materials.
By harnessing the power of chemistry, we can break them back down into molecules that we can then rebuild into new materials we sell on the market. This is really exciting technology. So instead of going from just bottle to bottle type recycling that you do with mechanical recycling, we now have the opportunity to take a whole mix of materials. So for our methanolysis process in particular, we could use different types of feedstocks that are polyester based. But with these materials, it gives us a chance to create products that don't have any of the limitations that might go along with degradation over time in mechanical recycling.
The legacy we want to have is building on a history of innovation, right? So Eastman's been around for 100 years. We've been an innovator, enhancing the quality of life, and making a huge impact on a lot of different products. But as we look at the world today and where we need to be innovative is actually on the circular economy and figuring out how we make a huge difference on that front.
We are developing innovative materials that will have a responsible beginning of life and a responsible end of life.
So the secret to solving our global plastic waste problem and so many other issues facing the world today may very well mean going back to the basics and starting again at the molecular level. Our next stop, Chicago. You know, our good earth provides many materials for building the buildings we live in and the minerals we use, like the mineral I'm holding in my hand right now, which is up to mankind to determine the source and the value of. But this mineral is not only good for mankind, it's good for our pet companions in the animal world as well, as you're about to see. Dogs may be man's best friend, but cats are just as important, providing needed companionship in our lives that can actually make them part of the human family.
Cats are the most popular companion animal in the country, and we know both instinctively how powerful the human-animal bond is, but now there's a lot of science to support both the physical and mental health benefits of having a companion animal in your family. And of course, cats are wonderful companion animals.
One of the primary needs of animal shelters, including the Anti-Cruelty Society in Chicago, is absorbent cat litter that will not only do the job, but is also lightweight for the amount of product that needs to be poured every day.
Here at the Anti-Cruelty Society, we use 1,000 pounds of litter a day. And so it's a really important element of what we do, and it's also a really important element of caring for your cat to have a good quality litter that you change on a regular basis.
No one could be more passionate about caring for our pet companions and solving the problems for the plight of cats and their caretakers than Dan Jaffe, the president CEO of Oil Dry. His company was able to create a cat litter that was lighter than anything on the market, an innovation that literally started a lightweight cat litter revolution.
So Cat's Pride is very unique in that we have this amazing mineral that Mother Nature put into the ground billions of years ago, and it's very light in density. Cat litter was sold by weight, and everybody compared value on a price per pound basis. They thought if they were getting more pounds, they were getting more litter. This idea hit me as I was reading about liquid detergents, and I said, we can do this with Cat's Pride, only we're gonna deliver the volume and reduce the weight. So I called the research center, and we have the cat litter folks, and I shared my idea with them. I said, now you gotta take this crazy idea and make it a reality. You've got to find a formula that works as well as the competition on all the key things: odor control, absorbency, low dust, low tracking. It's got to be cost efficient because people are not going to want to pay more for this. It's got to be true innovation, and it's got to be up to 50% lighter. And they did it, and we patented it, and it's been a revolution.
This innovation and research development takes place at the Nick Jaffe Center for Innovation, an 18,000 square foot facility in Vernon Hills, Illinois, dedicated to research and development on the multiple uses of these unique clay minerals, like bentonite clay.
Well, John, this is where the magic happens. This is the Nick Jaffe Center for Innovation, named after my grandfather, who founded the business. And we have scientists who come in every day to find unique applications for our mineral.
How important is this?
This is where the value is created, and so this is fundamental to Oil-Dry's existence. We're only limited by our own imagination, so we have 20+ scientists who come in every day. We have PhDs in clay mineralogy, we have DVMs, the vets, all the different areas of science, and we come in every day trying to find new and sophisticated ways to deliver value to our customers so they can help use our mineral to make the world a better place.
The minerals that Dan Jaffe is talking about are unique clay minerals called bentonite clay that are naturally light in weight with a wide range of uses, from crop protection to absorption to animal health. It's a mineral that has kept Oil-Dry in business for nearly 80 years.
Believe it or not, it's a real solution. There's a lot of uses for this material. Our old mission used to be makes the world cleaner, safer, and healthier, and it can do all those things. Today, of course, it's creating value from sorbent minerals. We select the mine and we process it a certain way so it's very absorbent. And it's lightweight in this case. That creates the value for the consumer, in this case a clumping cat litter that is lightweight.
Oil-Dry recognized that a lightweight litter product was a necessary feature that all litter products should have, not only helping animal shelters like the Anti-Cruelty Society, but also launching animal health donation programs, like its Litter for Good program.
Cat's Pride has been donating cat litter to animal shelters for many, many years. So this program is giving back tenfold in terms of litter donations. So litter is the #1 demanded item from shelters, and a lot of times it's not really donated heavily. And so this program helps those shelters free up resources to pay for other programs such as vet bills, spay and neuter programs, adoption events, because these litter donations are provided to them at no cost, and they can then use those dollars for other resources.
If it isn't grown, it has to be mined. And that's it. That's the only two ways to really naturally bring products to the American people and the world. And so all of us owe our existence to the earth, and Oil-Dry in particular owns our entire business to the earth.
It's a mineral-based product that not only helps mankind, but I think you'll find the cats love the minerals this earth provides too. Our next stop, Menasha, Wisconsin, the hub of America's paper and packaging industry. You know, our world is growing at a frenetic pace, 10 billion people by the year 2050. And that's going to require a lot of food production to feed that many people. But today, food waste is a huge problem, and it requires innovative ways to package that food to protect its integrity, as you're about to see.
Every year, 30% of global food production is lost or waste, and that means continuous innovation is needed to improve ways to protect and preserve the food on its journey, from the farmer to the plate.
Flexible packaging is important for the consumer because what it does is it actually extends the shelf life.
If you look at the supply chain of producing food for human, 90% of the carbon footprint on the planet is actually producing the food itself. Protecting the food, plastic or metal or glass, is actually 10% of the carbon footprint. So what we need to do with our 10% is to make it recyclable and recycled so that plastic never end up as waste.
And packaging is what TC Transcontinental is all about for its global consumers. With 40 years of innovative history and entrepreneurial spirit in packaging technology to not only protect the product, but also inspire the consumer to sustain the earth.
We need to blend art, science, and technology to create a package that accentuates the brands, protect the product, sustain the environment, and inspire the consumer as well. So that's our journey, that's our mission in flexible packaging.
So Francois, how important is preserving history while at the same time the innovation going on here?
Well, it's important. This building is almost 100 years old, and there's a lot of new stuff happening inside, but you can learn a lot from your past, from tradition, and it could help you move forward, you know, in a sense, learning from your history.
As a leader in flexible packaging in North America and Canada's largest printer with over 9,000 employees and 44 operating facilities worldwide, TC Transcontinental Packaging specializes in extrusion, printing, lamination, and converting of plastic and paper products for packaging in the food and consumer industries, offering a packaging experience that not only protects our global food products, but also supports the circular economy for our environment.
Actually, the biggest challenge is to make sure that plastics never becomes waste. We want to be part of the solution. We want to design and produce flexible packaging that is recyclable and typically that contains a certain amount of recycled content. In March 2019, TC Transcontinental has signed and was the first Canadian-based manufacturer to sign the Ellen MacArthur's Foundation Circular Economy Global Commitment, and this fits perfectly with our strategy. TC Transcontinental has committed to 100% of our packaging to be recyclable, compostable, and recycled by 2025. This is an ambitious commitment. We're very serious about it, and our operations, our R&D teams are fully committed to make it happen.
And flexible packaging like this is a game changer in the packaging industry. The innovation all takes place here in the R&D labs of Transcontinental.
Well, all this research really is intended to create the optimal package. And optimized used to mean, I think, just performance and cost. And now it's certainly performance, cost, and sustainable. If you walk through the lab, what you'd find is microscopes where we could look at cross sections of packaging films. We can make out the different polymer characteristics on other equipment, say other stations in the lab where we could say, is this polyethylene, is this polypropylene? And we could test performance tests, say heat sealability, which is critical for forming a package. We could look at barrier properties, which is critical for shelf life. So all of it ties back to some kind of functionality that we can replicate here in the lab.
The lab tests even include environmental heat and humidity testing in storage rooms with temperatures set to replicate tropical or even a desert location.
The first chamber is a tropic chamber, which is temperature and humidity controlled, and typically that's run at 100 degrees Fahrenheit and 90 degrees humidity. It's very large, so we can actually put in whole pallets to test at condition. So we can do vibration testing, compression testing, as well as storage life, accelerated aging. And finally, we have another chamber, environmental chamber, same size. We call it the desert room at high temperature, 140F. And the 140 is basically for accelerated conditions so that we can calculate accelerated aging studies. But in essence, it's like looking at a semi-truck trailer in the desert in the middle of summer.
The current lab that we're in is our packaging applications lab. We actually do a lot of innovation up front before we take that package to our customers to make sure it runs and performs on their equipment effectively. It also allows us to create many different layers that will give different performances for those packages so that they can have different characteristics to be able to protect the product inside. The end goal is something that protects the product, reduces food waste, and stands out on shelf.
This is one of our latest innovations. What's really important about this package is this happens to be a piece of meat with bones in it. Bones are very abrasive to packaging, and in this case we must protect against any punctures that would happen either during packing of the meat or distribution or retail display. So it's very critical that we have a very tough package that also provides good shelf life with respect to keeping the meat fresh.
I think the end result is that we can educate the consumer so that they can understand the value of the flexible package, but at the same time make sure that the package is actually recycled and that it doesn't go into the oceans or to our landfill. So it's really that communication and the innovation around making sure that that doesn't happen.
It's all about continuing a legacy of sustainable packaging for our food supply, from the very source of our food products to its end of life. Our next stop, Auburn Hills, Michigan. You know, we all want the air we breathe to be clean, especially in the vehicles we drive. But with air pollution becoming a problem globally, well, the demand is there to have clean air inside the vehicle at all times, no matter what the environment outside. Well, the research to make that happen is happening here in the U.S., here in Michigan. Let's take a look. With pollution a constant focus throughout the world and high levels of air pollution experienced in countries like China and India, clean air is not just a feature for luxury vehicles today, it's expected in all passenger vehicles.
We have to face the fact that global warming is a reality, and effectively the transportation industry is contributing between 10 to 20% to all the CO2. Very often sustainability in a lot of countries require you to compromise on your comfort inside the vehicle and compromise on the vehicle range and the capability of the vehicle. At NIO, this is not the case. This vehicle do a 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, so we have not compromised on the performance of the vehicle. We are offering luxury to the people, and we're combating the pollution problem in China while, having no compromise for the customer.
As North America's Vice President of Development for NIO, a smart electric vehicle company in China, Bruno is especially concerned about having the cleanest air quality inside their latest high-performance vehicles.
Well, this is our ES6. That's the second vehicle that NIO has designed and is producing. E stands for electrical, S for SUV, and 6 is the size of the vehicle. It's got a battery that is swappable, so you can replace the battery and change it instead of charging the vehicle. And all our commitment at NIO is to develop an electrical vehicle that will improve ultimately the pollution problem due to the transportation in China.
That commitment to clean air, especially inside the cabin of the automobile, was the reason for NIO to turn to a company called Air International Thermal Systems, a global technology leader in HVAC systems for electric vehicles, with a long history of designing thermal products custom fit for the vehicle, as well as protecting the environment.
Founder Owen John started the company back in 1967. And at that time he had purchased a Jaguar XJ6, and at that time in Australia air conditioning was not available in the vehicles. So having a fairly hot climate in around Melbourne, Australia, he wanted to install an air conditioning system. Couldn't go out and buy one, so he had to build one himself. And being an innovative person, he built a HVAC unit that fit perfectly into the vehicle, as though it was designed by the manufacturer themselves.
Today, Air International is globally recognized as a technical leader of automotive thermal products in facilities around the world.
Part of that mission now is, different to when we started, is a big focus on the environment, as well as improving efficiencies of the system, both performance, weight, etc. That all translate at the end of the day to a more effective, more efficient HVAC system and overall thermal system.
Air International began making custom air conditioners for luxury cars in 1982, and it's been delivering premium comfort to consumers ever since. Thanks to a worldwide base of engineers overseeing development and procedures such as an evaporator surface treatment process in Thailand and a vehicle climatic wind tunnel in Shanghai, providing engine cooling solutions for the entire spectrum of powertrain applications and climate control modules to fit every vehicle.
You could call it follow the sun engineering, as the sun is setting on research going on in China, while the workday is just beginning here in the United States at the Air International R&D Lab in Michigan.
We're working on these very complex thermal systems that improve the efficiency of the battery electric vehicles so that you can drive them farther, so that when you get in them, they warm up faster and cool down faster and are every bit as comfortable, and even more so comfortable, as an internal combustion engine vehicle. There's also cabin air quality, meaning filtration, measuring the quality outside the car versus inside the car, using ionization and different technologies to purify the air as it comes in, and balancing whether the air outside is better than the air inside and moving that air back and forth as needed.
Intelligent smart HVACs is the future for us, providing solutions for autonomous vehicles as well as continuing the work we're doing with electric vehicles. So again, making the passenger compartment a lot healthier than what it is today, and also making the HVAC system environmentally friendly.
In the case of the HVAC system, we have developed a system with AI that allows us, the best air quality in any kind of city, even the most polluted that the customer can encounter.
It's all about protecting the environment while at the same time protecting passenger comfort inside the vehicle for that perfect ride on this good earth.